Fidelis Care offers quality, affordable health coverage for children and adults of all ages and at all stages of life. Quality health coverage, it's our mission. Call 1-888-FIDELIS or visit fideliscare.org.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Every week at this time we're going to take a look at our local college sports programs. We begin this week with our honor roll of local college athletes, brought to you by M&T Bank. At M&T Bank, we're listening, learning, and working hard to understand what's important to Western New York. It's what we've been doing since 1856. M&T Bank, understanding what's important. At number 3, it's Kaylee Cavanaugh of the Geneseo women's basketball team. Scored 16 of her team-high 17 points in the second half, spurring a comeback win versus Oswego. It was the 20th straight win to start the season for the Knights, tying the school record set in 1995. At number 2, Jenna DeYoung of RIT women's hockey had a big weekend versus Lindenwood with back-to-back shutouts for the Tigers. The sophomore goalie saved 26 shots in both wins, the first shutouts of her college career. And topping the list is Carly Bartlett of the U of R. She had a record-setting performance in the pentathlon at the Brockport Multi-Invitational. Kylie, a sophomore, took first place with a score that not only broke the school record, broke the facility record, it also set a new high mark for all of Division III. It is time now for our local college spotlight athlete of the week, brought to you by Ralph Honda. This week's athlete of the week brought to you by Ralph Honda, where they've been doing it right for 3 generations. Visit their new showroom or find your next car online at ralphhonda.com. It's been 11 years since RIT Hockey made the move to D1, and they've had their ups and downs. But for the last 4 years, they've been able to count on goalie Mike Rotolo. Here's Kim Burnson.
He's a hometown kid, living out his dreams, skating for the team he grew up watching, and certainly making his mark. RIT senior Mike Rotolo is a Greece native and is now in his final season with the Tigers.
You mentioned being from Rochester. Was there like a team around here that you grew up looking up to?
Oh, it was definitely RIT. I used to go to a lot of games when I was a kid. Me and my dad would always go. I think it was the atmosphere that drew me in. It was a better atmosphere than I thought Amherst games were, especially because they had the student section in the band. So I used to always go to those games, and it was just really exciting as a kid.
Prior to starting his hockey career with RIT, he helped the Greece Thunder to a 2009 state championship and played 2 seasons in the United States Hockey League.
It helped me a lot. Playing juniors over in Green Bay helped me mature and grow up, moved away from my family. And it's a very busy schedule. They kind of have it like a pro schedule. You play 60 games a year, and you're always playing, you're traveling a lot. So it matured me, and it made me grow up quick, and it was a great experience, and I wouldn't have traded it for the world.
Since joining the Tigers in 2013, Rotolo has made quite the impact. This season, he became the first RIT goaltender to reach 2,000 saves at the Division I level and ranks 3rd in RIT's goals against average at 2.68 goals a game.
Mike's been a tremendous leader for us, very, very vocal. Some goalies are goalies you don't want to talk to before a game or are very quiet themselves. I think Mike, if goalies would traditionally be able to be captains, I think Mike would have been a captain for us. He's very much a leader. He really gets us going in the locker room and on the ice. He's very emotional. He shows his emotion on his sleeve.
I just try to go out every night and play the best I can for my teammates because that's my job. I try to stop as many pucks as I can. So, it's cool. It's something I'll look back on when I'm older, but I'm sure somebody will beat my record and then somebody will beat that record after that. But for now, it's pretty cool to have the couple records that I do here.
We've been all around a lot of goalies that, like I said, it's kind of taboo. Don't talk to them. They won't talk to you. Leave them alone. You can't talk about a lot of different things around them. And Mike is one of the guys. He's very entrenched with our team, and even on game day, he controls the music. He's just very contagious and infectious with our guys' enthusiasm for the game.
Throughout the years, Rotolo has built a strong camaraderie with his teammates, especially fellow senior and Rochester native Garrett McMullen.
We all live pretty close to each other here, so I can walk next door and, hang out with Mike Rotolo. It's literally my neighbor, or 2 houses down, a couple other guys there. So we're all really close and in and out of each other's houses. And, school starts back up. A lot of guys have same classes and projects and stuff like that, and hanging out on the weekends and just kind of enjoying the college life all together. He's real vocal in the locker room and stuff, and he's always, he's always staying positive and trying to fire the guys up if, people are down. So he's been kind of the backbone of the vocal leadership in our team.
Last season, Rotolo battled through a mid-season injury, sidelining him for 16 games. He returned to the ice in the quarterfinals of the Atlantic Hockey Championships and helped to lead his team to another conference title.
It's very obvious, I think, at times now when we watch him, if he's lacking that emotion, it's not going to be a good night for him. And obviously he's had more good nights than not. So I think it's important for him to come with that on his sleeve, be aggressive in the net, use his size to his benefit, and then get our guys going.
The expectation only grows for Rotolo and his team in his final season.
If we're going to win a championship, he's got to be on his A game, and he's very capable of bringing us to that. He's proven that in the past, and will, I think, prove it again this year. And I think he should be thinking about moving on and having a professional career after RIT, I think, because he's capable of doing that.
Hockey is very important to me, but so is my education. Eventually one day hockey's going to run out and you need that diploma in order to further yourself in life. So it's pretty exciting that I'll be able to graduate here in my hometown, and I want to play pro hockey for as long as possible, no matter where that is. No matter where the journey takes me, I'll keep playing the game, and when the time runs out, it just happens. So for now, I'm going to keep playing.
I'm Kim Burnson with the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat.
When we return, JC DeLass welcomes U of R softball manager Margaret Yerdon-Grange into the Coach's Corner. And later on, Kim is back with our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave. We've got that and more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat continues. As we head to break, here's a look at the Nazareth Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Nazareth College. As we come back from break, here's a look at the Geneseo Athletes of the Week, brought to you by SUNY Geneseo. Welcome back. Thanks once again for joining us on the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Every week, JC DeLass from WYSL Radio is going to help us get to know an area coach better with the Fidelis Care Coach's Corner. The Fidelis Care Coach's Corner is presented by Fidelis Care, quality health coverage. It's our mission.
This is JC DeLass with this week's Fidelis Care Coach's Corner, and our guest this week is Margaret Yerdon-Grange. She's the head softball coach at the University of Rochester. Coach, you're beginning your 8th season as head coach, 13th year overall in the program. What is it about coaching at the U of R that's been so appealing for you?
I have an opportunity to work with great student athletes at a great university, top-notch academics, and, to also have a really competitive softball program.
You talk about the academics. I know that's very important. Is there a certain type of student athlete that you're looking for when you're out recruiting?
We are certainly looking for students that are pushing themselves in high school, achieving in high school, and, we want them to get here and to be able to do the work and be able to balance playing a sport as well.
What are some of the challenges that you face coaching softball at this level now?
I think it's always challenging every year because you have a different team. You have to go out and recruit every single year and bring in top caliber athletes, and then that way your program can continue to get better.
You were a former player back in the day in college. Does that help you at all in relating to the kids and how they have to juggle academics and athletics?
I mean, I think certainly, especially playing at a higher level where there's more of a time commitment, you know, I understand how to balance academics, and I know that it's difficult for them, and we try to, you know, arrange our schedule the best we can to help them, you know, with their classes and stuff like that.
We talk about balancing time commitments. You have a young family. How difficult is that to get that balance between home life and also coaching?
I mean, it's certainly a challenge, you know, having 4 little kids, but I have a great husband who does a lot, so that's really, you know, what keeps us going. And you know, the season is difficult, but we can manage it.
When you have the kids around you, I'd imagine that's a lot of fun, but again, it can be a little bit of a challenge because you got to make sure you're still paying attention to your other kids. That's the kids on the team.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I think you know, I can relate well to the girls because now I do have kids of my own, and, you know, managing the, you know, 18 to 22-year-olds that I have on the team, and then my 4 little kids at home.
You've made it to the NCAA playoffs 3 straight seasons now. What has been some of the keys to success in maintaining that level?
I think, you know, recruiting, trying to find the best athletes, you know, both locally and nationally really helps us be able to be successful and competitive year in and year out. I think our players have an excellent work ethic, and, you know, that's part of our program now, that they're used to working really hard in the off season on their own and working hard in the weight room and during practice, and I think that helps us excel.
What's the best advice that you could give high school student athletes right now as they prepare for hopefully continuing their careers at the college level?
I mean, I think you see a lot of high school athletes right now that are kind of playing one sport, and, you know, I would say one of the main things you can do, you know, besides keeping up with all your academics, taking the most challenging courses you can, is, you know, try to cross train a little bit, try to play more than one sport. It's not going to hurt you. You know, even the best college coaches in the country recruit athletes that play more than one sport. So I think that's certainly something students could do that could help them at the next level.
Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Yep.
And thank you for watching this week's Fidelis Care Coach's Corner.
Kim Burnson is up next with our Scholar Athlete, and later on, Brockport's pole vaulters are reaching new heights. We've got that and more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. Before we go to break, here's a look at the RIT Athletes of the Week, brought to you by the Rochester Institute of Technology. As we come back from break, here's a look at the SUNY Brockport Athletes of the Week, brought to you by the College of Brockport.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave Digital Audiovisual Environments.
Where can you go to get expert advice and installation on TVs, sound systems, and automation for your home, car, or business? Come see Dave. Digital Audio Visual Environments. Come see Dave.com.
This week, our Scholar Athlete is Mackenzie Dowdle of St. John Fisher College. Mackenzie plays volleyball for the Cardinals and is currently in her sophomore year. She was named to the conference president's list for having a GPA of above 3.75, placing her in the top 10% of student athletes in the Empire 8. Nominated for her dedication to athletics and to the classroom, this week Mackenzie Dowdle is our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave Digital Audiovisual Environments. Now with a look at our college calendar, here's Dave Yates.
Here's our local college calendar for the week ahead. Tuesday, the Cardinals basketball teams host Alfred with the women starting at 6. On Thursday, Nazareth basketball plays Elmira College for their final home games of the season. Those also start at 6. A lot of action this weekend, including the newly formed Roberts Wesleyan women's bowling team participating in their first tournament. That's in Reading, Pennsylvania. Saturday morning, tennis returns to action. The U of R hosting RIT at 10, and then at 3, the Yellow Jackets play Naz. At noon, Brockport Wrestling has a dual meet for versus Scranton on Senior Day. And finally on Saturday night, the Geneseo hockey team takes on Buff State at 7. And now here's how some Section 5 alums are doing at colleges outside of Rochester. It's a segment we call Postcards from College. Phil Valenti of Victor is in his senior season at Canisius, averaging 13.5 points and a team-leading 5.7 rebounds per game. Greece Athena's Dion Hamilton scored 15 points for Damon versus Mercy and is averaging just under 11 points a game. Madeline Kopp of Spencerport continues to set records at Duke, this time setting a new school mark in the 600 meter at the Bob Pollock Invitational. And Mercy grad Jayla Miles is in her first year at Howard and being very productive in limited minutes. Miles did have a breakout game versus Cornell in November with 13 points and 15 boards. Coming up next, it's our honor roll of teams, and later on we meet the guys that are taking Brockport's pole vault team to the top. We'll explain that and have a whole lot more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. As we head to break, here's a look at the Roberts Wesleyan Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Roberts Wesleyan College. As we come back from break, here's a look at the St. John Fisher Athletes of the Week, brought to you by St. John Fisher College. Welcome back. Thanks once again for joining us on the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Here is our honor roll of local college teams. We start at number 3, the Geneseo men's swimming team. They took first place at home for the Geneseo Invitational. Senior Kevin Shaw winning 3 individual races and taking part in a winning 200 medley relay. At number 2, MCC women's basketball beat Erie Community College 87-50 to move into first place. The 13th ranked Tribunes were led by Lene Rodney's triple-double. And topping the list, the University of Rochester men's basketball team. They beat NYU 96-71 to go to 5-1 in the UAA, a game behind Washington University. Mac Montag led the Jackets with 20 points. And now it's time for our Spotlight Team of the Week. The pole vault is an individual event, but at Brockport, the men are excelling this year, and they're doing it by working together as a team. They're like the Three Musketeers, but instead of using swords, their weapon of choice is a pole. But they're definitely the epitome of one for all for one. Josh Steinman, Kyle Cohn, and Whitman Oler Marks know what it takes to be successful in the sport of pole vaulting, and also what it takes to get better. They recently completed a 1-2-3 sweep in an event at Ithaca. Kyle is ranked 8th in the country and Josh is 12th. Whitman is coming off an All-American season and took 4th at the Brockport Invitational.
We're really getting ready for the big championship meet. We're moving back to our long runs, so we're going to start to see the big results. My teammates, Kyle and Whitman, are doing great as well, and we're really excited to see what we can do.
Getting ready means trying to get the most out of every jump, and that means paying attention to every possible aspect: physical, mental, and the one thing that trumps them all.
Form is everything, so we're always trying to look and slow down our videos and look at our technique, and then doing sprint training and getting in the weight room every day and just keeping ourselves strong and healthy.
It's like a tight family. Even now that we're a little bit older, we know more about the sport. We do the best we can to help each other out, and it helps a lot when the bar goes up high, and you're sitting back there, you got your best friends there with you. So.
I've never really known a lot about the physical side of how to train and everything, and so coming in with Josh and Cam and Zach, I wouldn't be where I am without them. And even Kyle mentally is just so tough. I think one thing that I like to say that I add to the table is I've done a lot of research on the form and become a real student of the sport.
Looking for every edge sometimes means spending a lot of time analyzing things. So it helps to not only try to get better, you also have to get along.
Just the other day, Josh and I sat down for ended up probably being like 2.5 hours. And we were just analyzing videos, and we both found some pretty unique perspectives that the other hadn't really considered when looking at their own jumps. So I think it's just something that if you take the time, it can really be beneficial.
Well, we all have our different roles. I'm exercise science major, so I deal a lot with, eating right and the training aspect. And then Whitman is huge on the technique. He's a technician when it comes to the vault. And our teammate Kyle is he's aggressive. He's always got the energy and there to bring everybody up. So we all have our part in it, and it works out great.
These three are continuing a great tradition of pole vaulting success at Brockport, and they're hopeful that is something that will continue after they're gone.
We're a pretty unique experience here because when I came in as a freshman, I had Zach Farrar had just come off a national championship, and Cameron Shaughnessy had just jumped 15:11. So he pushed me and he helped me get to the higher heights. And then as he was graduating, I now have Kyle and Josh, and we all just push each other. So it's pretty amazing to have always some people up at the highest level at the NCAAs, which is really cool. So I think it'll continue to help the program, and the younger kids will then experience the same thing that we've experienced. So
reaching new heights is the goal of every pole vaulter. For these Eagles, they aren't getting there on their own. They've got the help they need whenever they need it. Well, thanks everybody for watching.
And a special thanks to our sponsors, including Fidelis Care, for making the College Sports Beat possible.
We'll see you back here next week.